Hello, everyone. Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining. This is just a test, but I appreciate you being here anyway. This is quite exciting. I am now live on 3 platforms at the same time. So, like I said, this is mostly a test, but I just wanted to see how Restream functions and figure we'd use this time to maybe chat with each other a little bit and maybe go over a couple of articles and updates on some things that are happening right now. Unless one of y'all has something else, we can maybe add some things to our list for songs that we want to do. Maybe we can pick a couple of articles that we want to do a deeper dive on. I mean, really, this is more for you guys. So, Kathy or anyone else, if you have something that you want to add or you want to go over, just bring it up. Otherwise, hey, I'm just going to pick a couple of things and we're going to go over them together. Because mostly I do politics, but I also do music reactions. I do a little bit of everything. And since I have a little bit of free time while my kids are taking a nap, here we are. So real quick. Yep. And again, thank you for joining us, Kathy. Always a pleasure to see you around the channel. Get OBS pulled up also so I can see what I'm doing. So you can see here, we've got a post from Travis on X. You can take what people write with a grain of salt. That's fine. Usually people use pretty biased language when they're posting things on X, and that's fine. You just got to kind of wade through it and think a little bit independently. But let's see what he is talking about here. So claims someone's campaign's in trouble. Sure. Both sides, if you notice anything on X, political discourse on X is very tribal. So you'll get people like Harry Harry Sisson, by the way, that will always say positive things about Kamala's campaign, and you'll get people like Cat Turd that will always say positive things about Trump's campaign. That's fine. You just got to understand kind of what you're getting into. So the whistleblower affidavit has been released, showing ABC colluded with Kamala's campaign, proving illegal collusion. I don't know if it's illegal or not, but it might be considered a contribution, but who knows? Well, let's really see what the affidavit even says. And of course, that view doesn't work, so let's get this one pulled up. Like I said, we're doing this live, folks. Maybe get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So affidavits signed and notarized September 9th ensure the allegations set forth are formally documented. In addition, sent a certified letter of myself postmarked September 9th to remain unopened for future investigations. Dispatch Federal Express, fancy package, September 9th, and delivered to my residence on September 10th, which will remain unopened for potential investigative purposes. Sent a certified letter to Speaker Mike Johnson dated September 9th to establish a record that correspondence was sent before the debate commenced. Additionally, for the further investigation, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact-checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were to be asked under any circumstance, or else Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. These are some pretty serious allegations, but again, we will just have to see what they say. We have most of the contents, it looks like, here. So, make these statements under penalty of perjury and without coercion of any kind. State of New York, sure, I redacted. I always love redacted. Like, redacted always comes through in a clutch. Comes through with some really great content. Duly being sworn hereby deposes and says the despondent has read the foregoing affidavit, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Basically believes them to be true. Signed by a notary public. Fantastic. Affirmation of documentation, signed and notarized. And this is what we went over already about the many measures that the person took to try and prove that this is indeed legitimate and prior to the debate. Furthermore, imposed restrictions on the scope of questioning to include no questions regarding the perceived health of President Joe Biden. I don't know what the perceptions are there, but they're treating him as if he's already out to pasture. So read into that what you will. No inquiries related to her tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco, which is interesting because there's a lot of questionable things that could come out about that, like using people for firefighting because it's cheap instead of letting them go, or withholding evidence that may have exonerated certain defendants. No questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West, and this is a name I first heard today. So we'll look into that a little more. Who faces allegations of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and who may be involved in her administration if elected. That's a lot of money. A lot more than I've got. That's for dang sure. But internal organization climate observed a pronounced bias against Donald Trump within ABC. Not surprising there, folks. Employees expressing favorable views towards him experienced significant concerns about potential retribution. Guys, that happens in a lot of places. That's not unique to just the media. The tribalism in our country has gotten so extreme now that employers in general have picked a side because most of those employers are large corporations. And most of the large corporations are now treated as people. They give a lot of money to a lot of these campaigns and politicians. So if you work at one of these places and you speak out in favor of the person they don't like, don't be surprised if you have some sort of retribution. Now, it will all be hush-hush, and they'll say it's for a different reason because discrimination policies, but it's real, and it's not just in media. It's pretty much ubiquitous in corporate America. Purpose and documentation. This affidavit is executed to document and provide transparency regarding issues of fairness and impartiality in the debate process and broader concern over journalistic integrity at ABC News. Guys, there are serious questions about journalistic integrity in most of the mainstream media. Let's just be honest, okay? Either side, they're all working for the same side. Most of the mainstream media, whether it's CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, Fox, any of them, they all support the uniparty. They all support the political state. So don't get twisted. Just because they are controlled opposition does not mean that they don't all support the same people. In general, the government just seems perfectly happy starting more wars, bombing more people, and overall just kind of being jerks around the world instead of really just focusing on things back home to try and make, I don't know, things better for us. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but those are my general ideas. So you see here, under penalty of perjury, yes, I redacted again. Perfect. Redacted in Manhattan, New York. Worked for ABC for over 10 years in various technical and administrative positions. Since the acquisition of ABC News in 1996, I have observed significant transformations in the nature of news reported at the organization. These changes suggest a shift from unbiased reporting to a model influenced by external factors. And in general, that's pretty much what we've seen from the mainstream media. News used to be something that was done at a loss for the betterment of society. It was not a money or, revenue generator for most of these entertainment companies. But now the news is being used to generate clicks. Clicks generate ad revenue. Ad revenue is how they generate their money for the most part. So guys, it's all about keeping the companies that spend the most on ad revenue happy. It's no longer about informing you and I. It's about making sure that Big Pharma and these other companies keep buying ads. So, like I said, don't get twisted. The media in general is pretty much here to sell us ads, sell us drugs, sell us junk we don't need. And they're perfectly willing to say sensational things in order to generate clicks, to generate revenue, to get you to buy stuff. So, take everything you read with a grain of salt and do a little bit more digging and see what multiple sources, independent and mainstream media, says about something. You'll be much better off. For the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as candidate for president. Okay. The intent of this affidavit is to address concerns regarding perceived bias within news reporting within my employer's debate that will be hosted on September 10th. So again, this was sent the day prior. So that is the documentation of the affidavit that was sent. Those are the 4 pages that were provided. I don't know what y'all's thoughts are on it, but personally, I just watched the debate. So after the fact, I can look back and do some Monday morning quarterbacking and say that there was probably some bias. There's probably a reason why sorority sister person that helped run the debate for Kamala at ABC pressed a little bit harder on Trump than they did Kamala. Now, I'm not saying that it was extreme bias, but it just takes a little bit. And you got to give some credit because Kamala did a pretty good job about knocking Trump off of his game, right? She got him mad. She attacked him and his ego, which is the right play if you're trying to debate him and you don't have much substance to go on. So all in all, I think she did the best she could at that debate. She did not, however, answer a lot of policy questions, but neither did Trump. However, we have had a lot more time to digest some of Trump's policies because they've been public for much longer. I would really like to see Kamala flesh out some more of those policies that she stands for. We just a few days before that debate made public her policies on her website. So it is what it is. But if there really was collusion, guys, we should definitely bring it to light. And if it comes out that there wasn't, then that's fine. We'll move on, right? There's a lot of other things that have been in the news lately that we could talk about, but there's also a couple of songs that I've been looking at possibly doing. There is a Dax song that I'm probably going to be doing here shortly on the channel. So I don't know what y'all's thoughts are on it, but let's get this ad to go away before I click over and show you. Ooh, let's not play the audio too long. We are on stream. But what are y'all's thoughts about doing this one next? So we've got a remix of God's Eyes from Dax that I think is going to be the next one I do. It's an 11-minute song. So this one's going to take quite a while to record and edit down. But I don't know if you guys have any others. I still have quite a lengthy list of songs that I want to get to that y'all have given me in the past. Many of Tom's catalog I actually enjoy doing because, let's be honest, Tom is one of the very few artists that allow revenue sharing. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with how YouTube's music system works, but if there is not revenue sharing turned on, I may be able to make the video visible to you, but there's also a decent chance that it may not even be visible for you. So I had a couple of songs that I've done reactions to, Weird Al Yankovic and a couple of others, that I have not been able to make those videos viewable to y'all. I've contested some or disputed some of the copyright claims on those for fair use because I'm doing a reaction and adding my own content. But guys, a lot of the times you see a lot of Tom on the channel because Tom is very friendly to the people that do reactions. I actually had a couple of songs of his that went under copyright that I could not monetize. And you know what I did? I reached out to him on X. I said, hey, Tom, you have some videos that are getting claimed, even though on YouTube's music system, it claims that they are split revenue, right? So you can go in and you can do reactions on them, and they're supposed to allow you to split the revenue, but a lot of them were flagging as, nope, you just can't monetize them at all. Kick rocks. So I actually reached out directly to Tom McDonald, and he messaged me back. It was actually one of the craziest things that I've had happen. I've had Tom message me back. I've had the Lectern guy message me back. There's a couple of other people that I've actually gotten response directly from. Now, my profile is still under 1,000. See here on X. You can come over and follow me there. But I'm at 977 right now. So 977 followers, that's fine. We're still growing. It was just over 800 about a week or two ago. So come over there, give us a follow. But it's interesting because as my audience has grown, I'm seeing that I actually get a lot more back from folks that I mention or talk with. So interacting really seems to be benefiting quite a bit. You actually see here I'm currently live on X as well because my multi-stream is up on X, it's up on Rumble, and it's up on YouTube. So again, Kathy, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Any little bit helps, right? Any of y'all's support, I greatly appreciate it. I really wouldn't be able to do it without any of you. It takes a lot of time and effort to do this, especially when you look at the fact that I am a single father of 2 small kids and work 60 plus hours a week at my normal full-time job, which means any of the remaining time is spent doing chores around the house, taking care of the kids during the week, or recording content and editing videos. So you always see the set on my videos, but you don't really see how I do the things that I do, how the sausage is made. But one of the nice things about my job is that they have what's called they have a couple of benefits that allow me to use hobby or spend some money on things that would be considered hobbies. So things like this, which is a speed editor from Blackmagic Studios or Blackmagic Design. Really streamlined a lot of my editing that I have to do. So if you're ever in the market for streaming equipment, definitely get one of those. I currently utilize an XLR Mini and 2 Stream Decks. So those were also utilizing some of the funds that I got through work. So thank you to my unnamed employer for making some of this even possible. Because let's be honest, I pretty shoestring budget over here. I can barely make ends meet in the current economy when it comes to paying all the bills, paying for daycare for 2 kids, and a mortgage. I don't know how your guys' lives are, but mine's getting real tight. So other than Tom, do you guys have any other artists that you're really excited to hear? Because I've got a couple other on here. I got Adam Calhoun. I got one from Samson still on the list. I have a couple other artists, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do some of them. Because a lot of the ones that I've recorded for other artists get stuck in copyright hell. So if y'all have some ideas, go ahead and throw some in the comments or send me a DM on X and we'll get to them as soon as I can. But again, just please have some grace and some patience with me because my life is very chaotic. My daughter just started kindergarten, which is super exciting. Super fun to watch her grow up. She's extremely smart. She's memorized things already at 5 that I would probably have trouble memorizing. And her brother, who's still 3, is also memorizing the same things. So my kids never fail to impress me. And then something else that I was going to want to go over for some of my other audience members that have been asking for updates is we can go over a little bit of things going on in Argentina with President Javier Milei. Now it looks like, according to Bing, which I know everybody makes fun of, but let's be honest, compared to Google, Bing is actually less biased, which is hilarious. But that's the times we live in now. IMF pulls official off Argentina talks amid feud with Milei. So it looks like the International Monetary Fund is still mad at him. Probably good. Let's see, this is from 7/12, so that's from a couple of months ago. Let's actually change this to be, let's see, in the past month. What news do we have from the past month? Financial Times secures backing to defeat pension increase. Okay, so it looks like they were trying to, oh, good. Let's try accepting the cookies. And I can't even see it. These paywalls suck, guys. Like, I don't know how these folks think that they're going to make money when they just put everything behind a paywall. So it looks like there's some people mad about it. They had clashes outside of Argentine Congress after pension hike was blocked. So you got to remember, Milei is making a lot of inroads when it comes to excessive government spending. So pension increases, definitely a type of government spending. So if you're trying to control government spending, this is very on brand for him. Protesters clashed outside with police on Wednesday. This was written on the 11th, so a few days ago. So this would be last Wednesday, after the lower house lawmakers voted to block a planned hike to pensions that had been opposed by right-wing libertarian president. So interestingly enough, he is not libertarian, guys. He is an anarcho-capitalist. Very different. But they'll still call him right-wing, so that's fine. President Javier Milei, the Chamber of Deputies voted 153 in favor, with 87 against, falling short of the 2/3 needed to approve the bill. Okay, so it looks like they needed 2/3. She looks like so much fun to be around, guys. Like, it's always in the eyes. Can we get this? Can we get this pulled up? Is there any way to... is this like a cartoon? Guys, like, what is this? What is this? It's in the eyes. That just... she doesn't look like a happy person, does she? Vote spread, hundreds of people protesting in central Buenos Aires broke down barriers erected by police and clashed with security forces in riot gear. So you know what I would be interested to see? Do we have an update on inflation? Let's look that up real quick, because that was the big thing that he was fighting. So they were actually tracking it by month, which is scary. Okay, 31-month low, so 6 days ago. Yes. Reject all. Can I do that and still get in? Perfect. Argentine inflation seen a 31-month low of 3.9% in August. Now, folks, remember, this is month to month. So, still very high. However, when you look at how high inflation was, it spiked way higher. So you had a little bit of deflation. And I believe Javier was elected in the fall of last year. So that would put it 2023, so near this part. So we were pretty high in inflation. You're looking at 6 to 8% per month. That's a lot, guys, because if you need to do the math real quick, let's see, calculator. So times 12, that would be 96% inflation year over year. That is not sustainable, right? So big thing Javier ran on was cutting the inflation. So since the inauguration of right-wing economists in December, okay, so he was inaugurated in December, inflation has steadily slowed from 25.5 that month whole to 4.2 in May, 4.6 in June, 4 in July, and now it looks like 3.9 in August. Okay, guys, 25%. That means 300% annualized. And you wonder why they're cutting government spending. That's insane. Because if you look at the inflation here, right, in the United States, what is our current CPI rate? So look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Yes. I don't want to take a survey. Thank you, Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let's see, CPI for all items. Let's get this pulled up. So CPI home, CPI is the measure of average change over time. The price is paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. Indexes are available for the US and various geographical areas. Average price data for select utility, automotive, fuel, and food items are also available. So guys, let's see. Latest numbers. All right, all items, August. We have 10 years of historical data. Let's see, city average. We have items less food and energy. Well, we don't want to do that because... So US city average, 0.1%. So if you... It's actually not terrible, but 2.5% since August of 2023. So over the year, they're claiming 2.5%. So every month they put out a press release. You can always check the current edition, August. So let's look. Adjusted. All items, 0.4, 0.4, 0.3, 0, negative 0.1. Okay, so overall, you can see things are kind of stabilizing when it comes to all items, but something else that they don't always tell you, and you can always look into the little tiny footnotes, is that they like to tweak the things that are included in the basket of goods. They like to mess around with the weightings. So you can always look further into the data if you want to know more, but so here's the weightings. You can see here all items 100%. So food is 13% of CPI. So energy 6%. Yep, makes sense. Clothing 2.5%. Shelter 36%. So the cost of housing is actually what's driving a lot of the increase in the CPI, or keeping it elevated. If you look at this, we're still going up 0.5%, which over 12 is 6%. So we're still 6% per year for shelter. Rent, 7.7% basically. Healthcare is going up 6.4%. Or sorry, that's the weighting, 6.4% weighting. So it went, looks like actually medical care has gone down 0.1% last month. Good, it needs to. Shelter is still up 6% a year though on an annualized basis. So remember guys, when they talk about inflation, that is a tax on everybody. Inflation is not good. It means your dollar goes not as far. And because we are still the world reserve currency, we export that inflation. Because as we send money abroad, when we cause inflation, those dollars that get sent abroad also buy less. So the countries that basically take on those dollars are importing our inflation. So we still have inflation this high, even with us exporting inflation overseas. It's not good, guys. Because, oh, inflation's down, prices are down. Those are not the same thing, guys. Inflation is an increase in price in US dollars for the same good over a period of time. So if inflation is still positive and it has not gone negative, which would be deflation, the prices are still going up. They just might not go up as fast. Something else that I took notice of is that we are not just seeing inflation, we're seeing shrinkflation. So the cost of, let's say, a box of cereal may not have gone up. But guess what? That box of cereal might be smaller. And I'm going to see if I can find it. But I posted a picture. It was a side-by-side picture of two boxes of cereal. Can I find it? I cannot. Nothing like doing this live, folks. Oh, found it. All right, look at that. All right, so you can see here, I posted this. I bought these two boxes of cereal about 2 weeks apart, or a week apart. So this is a cereal that my parents eat when they're in town. So when they come and visit, this is what they like to eat. So I bought the bigger box on the top a couple of weeks before they had come, because one of my kids also likes to nibble on this. Same price. What is something that you guys see though? 13.1 ounces, 9.7 ounces. So these two boxes of cereal are actually 26% different in size. So while the price might be the same, you know what's not the same? How much am I getting? So it turns out this smaller box, because The serving size also went up slightly. They changed the grain mix that they're using. So the calorie content for one serving changed, as did the servings per container, because we had a 26% reduction in size. It went from having 8 servings in a box to 4. So now I get to spend the same amount of money and I get 4 servings of cereal in one box of cereal. That's it. So if you're actually measuring out your cereal, that is not a reduction in prices. So I don't know what we are seeing in the, in the media. We're seeing a whole lot. Oh gosh. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to do this one also. But let me show this one to you. I don't know if you guys follow Adam at all, but he's not wrong. Grilled cheese donuts, only in America. Guys, that is definitely one of the most American things I have ever seen. Oh, man. Okay, grilled cheese donuts, guys. We'll, maybe I'll do a reaction to one of those. I actually sent him a message because I got challenged to an eating contest at work. I ate an entire large Costco pizza in 28 minutes. So I sent him a personal message and added him on X, and he responded, which, like I said, is interesting. As your audience size grows on some of these social media platforms, you actually get responses from people. Let's see, what were we talking about? Oh, here we go. Let's see if we can find one of... looking for... All right, we'll grab this one as an example because I don't want to keep looking. There's a couple from from Kamala's campaign and other people, but here you see U.S. online grocery prices plunged the most on record in August. Food prices tumble. Well, we just saw the CPI data. That's just not true. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. CPI data disagrees. Let's see. CPI data, food, at home, food, 0.2%. Yep. Oh, hang on. Food, 0.2%. Sorry, guys. But August, we did not see prices plummeting. Didn't happen. So a little bit of live fact checking there. Let's get the article pulled back up. From a month earlier, well, that's not true. We just saw firm Adobe Inc. began tracking the numbers in 2014. Sure they did. Okay, source was Bloomberg. Let's see. And this was posted for Harris Walls 2024. That's fine. I don't mind them posting it from a campaign perspective, but what they need to avoid doing is say, hey, look, vote for us because, especially if it's not really true. Online grocery prices. Well, a lot of those might have to do with excessive inventories. So supply and demand, right? If you have way too much stuff sitting on the shelf, you're going to cut the price to get that product moving because a lot of it's perishable. And we saw in the CPI data, online food still was 0%. So there was no inflation, but there was not deflation. So if there was a change, it was market forces. It was not anything anyone else did. Say, online grocery shopping accounts for 12% of the national total, which is crazy, guys. I still go to the grocery store. Maybe I'm just old like that. But see, the issues played a prominent role in the presidential campaign. Sure, it has. Things are way too expensive. More than 20% cumulative increase in food prices since the Biden administration took office. Kamala Harris has promised measures to stop price gouging by grocery stores. Well, guys, core inflation is still up. So is it really price gouging? It's hard to say, right? Like, we're not economists, but I can tell you what it feels like when I go to the grocery store right now. The amount of food I buy for the same amount of money About $60 to $70 is about what my grocery budget is every month. Jesus. Ugh. No, every week. So if I have $60 to $70 to spend every week, the amount of food that I'm getting continues to go down. Especially because I want to keep doing things like, I don't know, eating meat, eating things that are, not complete trash and full of soy and corn syrup. Because here's a challenge, guys. Stream challenge, anyone watching. I want you to go to the grocery store and find me something that doesn't have corn syrup or sugar in it. Good luck. Other than raw meat that comes on the little styrofoam wrapped in plastic, which is also, don't get me started on that, microplastics in the balls. But guys, find me something at the store right now in the United States that does not come with sugar. I challenge you. I challenge you. It's very difficult. Oh, sorry. And fresh vegetables, I get it. But remember, fruit still has sugar in it. It's fructose, so it's better for you. It's not corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup. It's not cane sugar or some other nonsense. But good luck. So anyways, overall, online prices fell 4.4% in August from a year earlier. So now they're saying from a year earlier. Also, survey shows prices are seen climbing 4.4% in the coming year. Guys, this data seems questionable. Survey of consumer expectations by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Okay, sure. So consumers expect it to keep going up. Why wouldn't they? It's been going up for years. Overall, prices fell. That's fine. 24th consecutive month posted an annual decline. Sure, gauge is created by analyzing data from 1 trillion visits to retail sites and over 100 million product codes across 18 categories. Sure. But they're saying food prices are tumbling. I just showed you an instance where a month ago, I had a 26% reduction in the size of a food item I bought. Same price. Look, they can give me numbers all day. They can tell me I'm wrong all day. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to believe them and ignore my eyes or my bank account. Because guess what? That's what I see. That's my data. It might be anecdotal. That's fair. You can criticize it based on that, right? Anecdotal data is not necessarily reliable. Fine. But I just don't want to get lied to. And it feels like all I ever get from the government, both sides, by the way, both sides, is lied to. So if you want to know why I do a lot of music reactions, because at least the music is still entertaining. And a lot of the communities around that music are actually very good communities. So posted by Restream. I'm actually kind of curious, since this is a test stream anyway, how does the chat come across? Oh, it came across as me. Huh. What do you know? Interesting. Again, this is all being done live, so let's see what it looks like. Do I have... Can I watch it on here? I just want to pull it up and make sure that it's actually going. Okay, so it's live there. Oh, because I had the green screen turned on. That's something good to remember, by the way. Where is... filters? Oh, not that. This. Here we go. Filters. Let's turn that filter off. That'll fix the green in the background. Green's kind of wiggly if you don't remove the green screen filter. That's fine. So look at that. Fixing something while we're doing it live. Wonderful. And we are back connected. All right. So, like I said, I don't know what y'all's thoughts are. I have just been running some tests, looking at some news. Thought I would do this live. Check out restream.io, see how it functions. So far, it seems to be functioning pretty well. I'm currently live on 3 platforms: X, YouTube, and Rumble. So check me out at any of those. And honestly, guys, I just look forward to engaging with y'all more. I want to start doing this regularly. Something else that I want to start looking at, and I haven't really talked about this publicly much, is I want to find a way, and maybe one of you guys can leave a comment if you know a good way to do this. But I want to start advocating for single dads. Look, I get it. Not all of us are great. Not all single moms are either. I think in general, we should try and keep relationships together, right? But I also know that this being my second divorce, like, it's not happening, guys. These modern relationships, for the most part, are struggling a lot. Our culture is incentivizing the wrong things, especially for long-term success of the culture in general. We are encouraging everybody to be selfish and not think about other people. And just, make sure you stay happy, right? That's all that matters. Happiness. Guys, happiness is not a goal. Happiness is a feedback mechanism that the brain gives you for doing the right thing. It is a reward. It is earned. It is not something that should be chased, and it is not a virtue. So if you're abusing substances, if you're overly consuming social media content, if you're overeating, if you're doing any of these things because you're not happy and you're just trying to get happy, guys, in the end, no, ain't gonna work. It's just not. You're gonna keep chasing it, and there is no way to fill that hole in your life if that's your goal. How did I get on this? I don't know. But in general, I want to advocate for single dads because, look, even in West Virginia, where I live, I was subjected to red flag laws unfairly. And I've been fighting for almost a year now for custody of my kids. The court system in the divorce court is heavily biased against men, even here. So I can only imagine if you live in a more liberal state, or a more progressive state, I should say, because I'm not giving them the word liberal. If even in a conservative state like West Virginia, our systems are trash when it comes to going through it as a man. I got in a lot of trouble at the HR with the HR people at my job because somebody reported me to HR because I made the statement that I can understand, after going through this process, why men choose violence over going through the process. It was me being empathetic. It was me showing a level of understanding that comes from my experience. It was not me making threats. It was not me saying I was going to do anything. And I got dragged into a meeting with the upper corporate level physical security folks, with HR, with my managers, and everybody else. They asked me questions about if I own guns. They asked me a lot of other questions. And it's like, guys, look, I love the people at my work. I am the last person you should be afraid of. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Because me making the statement that I understood why people might think that way triggered somebody who I can only assume who they are because, the way HR works, you can't know who they were. So that's a violation of my constitutional rights to face my accuser, but corporate America doesn't care. So I don't know who it was. I can only make assumptions, but it also doesn't do me any good to figure it out. Does it? So as a guy, look, huge uphill battle when it comes to divorce court, when it comes to custody, when it comes to all kinds of things. I've had full custody of my children since December 13th of 2023. And I've been just figuring it out, guys. Full-time job, YouTube 2 kids to raise. But you just figure it out. Even my parents are like, I don't know how you do it. It's like, I do it because I don't have a choice. Because these kids need somebody to advocate for them. But you know what I also saw? I saw my financial future get destroyed. Half of my resources were taken in the divorce. Thankfully, I was able to negotiate with her and avoid alimony. And I don't have to currently pay child support because I have full custody. But I was staring down the barrel of another almost $2,000 a month in costs that I would have had to give to my ex, who is my ex because she was unfaithful for about 12 of the 14 years we were together. And I finally had just had enough of trying to make it work. So if after 12 years of being cheated on, a state like West Virginia will drag me through the courts, she could sneak back into the state and make untrue accusations, trigger red flag laws, have my guns taken, have my children taken from me in the middle of the night. If that can happen to me, even in West Virginia, guys, our system is screwed up. So I need to find a way, and I am going to find a way to advocate for men, for single dads, who a lot of the times choose permanent solutions to a temporary problem because they look at what I was looking at, which is, a couple $1,000s a month in recurring costs, potentially forever, to my ex, while I couldn't even pay my own bills and afford to eat. That system is broken, guys. It just is. So if any of you guys know a way that here in the panhandle of West Virginia, somebody can start advocating other than just here, right? I can advocate online. I can advocate on X. I can do the things there, but I need to find a way to get more involved, and I need to do it because we need to heal as a people. We need to get our relationships back together. We need to have more kids, guys. And that ain't going to happen with the laws the way they are. It just isn't. So, yeah, that's my plans moving forward. I need to find a way to start advocating more for men's positions in custody and divorce. I need to advocate more for our country because to be American is a real thing, guys. If we have people coming here to this country that do not want to be American, why are they here? So, very pro-America, pro-American. And if you want to come here and be American, I welcome you with open arms. We have a legal immigration system for a reason. So, I have no hate towards anyone, except people that want to come here and destroy what's here already to rebuild it into something that isn't what it's designed to be. So that is that. I will continue to make long-form content around political things when they happen. I will continue to do reaction content to songs that y'all recommend. And you know what? I look forward to it. I've enjoyed this adventure so far. I'm, 978 followers on X. My YouTube channel has 2,286 subscribers. Rumble, not nearly as many. That's fine. Let's see, stats and analytics. It's always so much harder. I think some of these websites just get too challenging. Let's see. Is there new followers in the last 60 days? Great, but I want to know how many followers I've got. Let's see. My channel's 49. So I've got 49 followers on Rumble. So I'm here for the long run, guys. I've been doing videos for a little over a year now. I'm going to keep doing them. And I appreciate you all that continue to show up. That's you, Kathy. And that's some of the other folks that are always in my comment section, always making recommendation. You got Leanne with the most recent comment. Let's see, what else do we got? Haven't responded. Who else is always in there? There's a Garcia. I'm really bad with names, folks. I apologize. Tammy's in there a lot. So thank you to Tammy. Leanne's in there a bunch. Thank you to Leanne. Mary, you're in there a bunch. The exchange with you is real good. I don't mind the ABC debate watch party. I don't mind going back and forth with folks. Look, I'm not going to get mad at y'all. I'm just going to tell you kind of how I feel. And then some of the comments, they're just not productive, guys. Comment sections are what they are. I do my best to respond to all of them. I do have people that accuse me of deleting comments or filtering comments. Look, I just let it auto moderate. So if you say something heinous in my YouTube comments, guys, it's probably going to get auto moderated and I'm not going to look at it. Like, it's just not worth my time. It's not worth putting my channel at risk to engage with them. So sorry. If you want to engage, just engage responsibly, I'll just say. I've had a bunch of recommendations. Actually, you know what would be a good place for me to look? I can tell you real quick. Like I said, doing this live, folks. So a lot of, Luke, a lot of recommendations. Luke Franklin, Gregory Paul. Like, you guys come through. Carolyn Nussery. The ones that I see all the time in my comments. Shannon Garcia. Shannon. Big thank you. Like, you guys are always in there making recommendations, and it really just helps. It really does. Even my mom has given me a few recommendations. Rodney Atkins, watching you. That was a recommendation from my mother. So thanks, Mom. But yeah, the support that you all have given me over the last year, just giving me a platform with which to really share my opinions. I'll probably be doing another legal update video soon, by the way. I have another hearing coming up. The legal system, guys, so slow. But that's fine. It is what it is. I'm just working through it. Like I said, I understand why people choose violence. It does not mean that's what I'm doing. I'm not. If I was going to do that, I would have chosen violence a long time ago. I would not have subjected myself to this nonsense for, what, a year and a half? Oh, guys, getting dragged through the legal system for a year and a half, I don't advise it. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. It's awful. If you can, try and stay together. But guys, we have way too many people having kids with people they shouldn't. We have way too many people staying in relationships with people they shouldn't. We have too many people that are in relationships for the wrong reasons, guys. I even admit that I got into the relationship that I just lost for the wrong reasons. I was young and dumb. I was not looking at things the right way. There's definitely some responsibility in it for me, but I was not the person that was misbehaving that way. Like, I just wasn't. And, you know, it's just in general, I just struggle with it. I don't know. I'm a fairly open person, but at the same time, as I get older and older, I'm like more antisocial. I feel like I'm eventually going to become Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. And I'm just going to be like, get off my lawn. Don't talk to me. Oh, the real world, guys. It's a crazy place. But I hope y'all keep a positive outlook. I hope you realize that, yeah, things could get better. They could get worse depending on the outcome of the election, guys. But you know what? We're still going to be alive. We're still going to have God. We're still going to have each other. We just got to look at the positive things. We got to work on making things better for everybody. And we got to unite. We got to stop dividing over everything. Everything is about dividing nowadays. We got to knock that shit off. We just do. What is it benefiting by calling everybody else a racist? It doesn't benefit everyone. Oh, the people from the other team, they're awful. What does that get you? It's not productive, guys. It just isn't. So let's find productive ways to engage with people from the other side. I don't care which side you're on. Just find good ways to engage with the other one. Because right now there really is just two. I think that sucks. But hey, it is what it is, guys. So I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And in the end, just treat each other the way you would want to be treated. I think the golden rule is a good one. And it just seems so rare now. So have a great week, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.